Welcome to Powerhouse, your favorite place for anime and other media web content, in particular what is quite possibly the quintessential shonen series, Dragon Ball Z. I'm your host, Sophie B, and for today's episode, we'll be returning to the domain of alternate universes with Dragon Ball AU, where we take the time to contemplate some what-ifs that significantly alter the timeline of the Dragon Ball world.
On the last episode of Dragon Ball AU, we asked ourselves a very important question. What if Krillin had a power-up?
Shortly after the battle with the Saiyans on Earth, Master Roshi, intrigued by the nature of the Kaioken, and concerned that Krillin and Gohan might not be prepared to face the trials of an unknown region of space populated by the likes of individuals such as Piccolo or the Saiyans, requested that King Kai hear him out regarding a theory he had to increase the usability of the Kaioken. With permission from King Kai and the agreement of Popo, Roshi and Krillin journeyed into the Room of Spirit and Time, where they developed a new technique from the old, combining Roshi's full power muscle form with the Kaioken to create a transformation of incredible power and potential. Kaiohenshin. Now much stronger from 1 year of training in the Time Chamber, and armed with this incredible new skill, Krillin accompanied Bulma and Gohan on their journey to the planet Namek. After narrowly avoiding conflict with Frieza's lieutenants and rescuing the young Dende from meeting a horrible end, it was time for a fateful encounter. Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans, had also arrived on Namek and was preparing to bring his own brand of pain and misery to the Namekian people. Pulling out all the stops, Krillin intervened in the confrontation and unleashed the power of Kaiohenshin. Undeterred, Vegeta took up his stance as the two faced one another on the blue grass. Who shall emerge victorious?
I don't know how you managed to get to this planet, Earthling, but I assure you, confronting me was a mistake.
Letting you go was the mistake, one I intend to rectify here and now.
And with twin bursts of power, the two warriors clash. The battle is intense, right from the get-go, as Krillin hasn't yet had the opportunity to really go all out against an opponent intent on killing him in this manner, using the Kaiohenshin, and Vegeta is furious at the Earthling for being an obstacle even out in the far reaches of space. Even so, the gap in power can be felt, and it has the Prince concerned, as well he should be. You see, at this point in time, according to the official canon, Vegeta's power level is sitting at a hefty 24,000. That sort of power is quite intimidating to those who used to belittle him, Frieza Force lieutenants such as Kui, Dodoria, and Zarbon. But the new and improved Krillin is sitting even higher, boasting a power level of 27,000, thanks to the 1.5 times boost of the Kaiohenshin ability. Even so, Vegeta is a tenacious and crafty fighter, and with Krillin not being used to full-blown combat in this form, they're fairly evenly matched at first. As Krillin adapts to the combat and sees that a standard Kaiohenshin isn't going to do the job, he wastes no time in upping the ante. With a roar, Krillin pushes himself to ×2, and Vegeta's beatdown commences. Now, I want to take some time to address something pretty important with regard to Krillin. He hasn't ever really killed before. Sure, he destroyed 3 Cybermen, but they're artificial creations with more or less animal-level intelligence at best, if not outright, robots, essentially. Just bioorganic robots. And of course, they'd just blown up his friend, Rip Yamcha. And on Namek, he and Gohan did kick a couple of Frieza Forcers midair, knocking them into a lake, but they're never really confirmed dead. And even at the height of his rage and pain in the aftermath of the battle on Earth, and prepared to swing Yajirobe's sword down on Vegeta, Krillin stopped by only a few words from Goku. He knew letting Vegeta leave was a bad idea, but he still stayed his hand. Quite possibly because, while he might be a warrior, he isn't a killer. So when the time has come, and Vegeta's at his mercy again, Krillin hesitates. Vegeta, struggling to stay conscious and not opposed to a bit of subterfuge when it ensures his continued survival, makes a bargain.
You're right, Letting me leave Earth alive was a mistake. But now you have a golden opportunity to make that mistake worth something. I haven't harmed a single Namekian since landing on this rock. You've seen to that. But I have killed 2 of Frieza's lieutenants, which is more than I suspect you've accomplished. If you're planning on stopping him from using the Dragon Balls, well, I know the strength of his forces. I know the layout of his ship, and what's more, I can help you get in.
Oh yeah? And what's in it for you?
My life, that's all. You spared me once before for much less, and you could use the extra muscle. As soon as I've healed, that is. You have little to lose.
Krillin ponders the offer very carefully. Vegeta is playing him, of course, but even if he thinks he could take Krillin on at some later time, the short Earthling still hasn't showed his full hand. Admittedly, however, battling Vegeta was draining. He wouldn't have much fuel in the tank for Kaioshin if circumstances forced him to push ×3 or ×4. Gritting his teeth, Krillin leaves the wounded Vegeta on the ground to catch his breath while he speaks to the village elder. The elder, confident that Krillin would be better suited for protecting their Dragon Ball anyway after watching his fight with Vegeta, and further assured when Krillin mentions his intent to speak with Guru, offers it to him without hesitation. The Namekians of the village, all trained to some extent in the ability to sense and control Ki, state that they'll suppress their power levels and retreat to safer locations in smaller groups to make them more difficult for Frieza's forces to find. Krillin returns to Vegeta's side and offers him a hand up.
You're coming with me.
The trip to Guru's is uneventful, as Krillin, Gohan, and Dende are reunited, and Dende agrees to heal Vegeta at Krillin's request. In the meantime, Gohan has had his potential unlocked by Guru, and Krillin decides to do the same in short order. When seeing this spectacle, Vegeta is both taken aback and enraged. With a mere touch of the head, the Earthlings have become even stronger. Guru notices Vegeta's anger, but does not offer to use his ability to unlock Vegeta's potential. Instead, he gives the prince some advice, telling him to leave the path of pursuing power for the sake of pride and vengeance. Vegeta simply scoffs, though he isn't completely unaffected by the Grand Elder's words. After all, he's lost big time twice now to Earthlings each time. First Goku, now Krillin. Now in the canon, with the heroes of Earth now possessed of unlocked potential, their power levels increased to 13,000 for Krillin and 14,000 for Gohan. We're never actually given their power levels in an unsuppressed state before this moment on Namek by any official media, but a simple division of 2.5 can split both of these values evenly, 5,200 for Krillin and 5,600 for Gohan. So the purposes of this what if, I'll be working off of the assumption that Guru's ability to unlock someone's latent potential increases battle power by a degree of 2.5 times. Because Krillin and Gohan both arrived on the planet stronger than their canon counterparts, with base power levels of 18,000 and 9,000 respectively, the growth of 2.5 times power is more pronounced, and the level of ability shifts accordingly, becoming Krillin at the top with 45,000, Nail in second with 42,000, Vegeta in third with 30,000, and Gohan bringing up the rear with 21,000. With their potential unlocked, and the 1-star and 4-star Dragon Balls in their possession, Krillin, Gohan, Dende, and Vegeta decide to head to the home base for the purpose of regrouping with Bulma, and devising a plan to infiltrate Frieza's ship to steal the remaining balls. After meeting up with Bulma, and apologizing for leaving her behind, the 5 of them begin their discussion. Meanwhile, elsewhere on Namek, Zarbon is growing frustrated with his fruitless search for Vegeta. After meeting yet another dead end in his manhunt, the Frieza Force Lieutenant receives a call on his scouter from the big boss himself.
Return to ship, Zarbon. Now!
Terrified that he may be up for early retirement, the loyal soldier reluctantly complies. Fortunately for him, Frieza's feeling merciful when he arrives.
I'm going to give you one last chance to prove yourself, Zarbon. According to our intelligence, I require 7 of these balls to get my wish. Yet here I am with a mere 5. I've come to suspect that Vegeta may have his hands on the remaining 2. Find Vegeta. You can start looking from where he murdered Dodoria. In the meantime, I've called in some reinforcements to help pacify the planet. If either Vegeta or my Dragon Balls are not on this ship by the time they arrive, consider your life forfeit. Now get out of my sight!
Zarbon obeys without question. As luck would have it, not long after he returns to his search in earnest, he happens to fly right over the Earthling hideaway just as an argument is starting to heat up inside between Vegeta and the others. With tensions and tempers flaring, they become visible on Zarbon's scouter just long enough for him to become suspicious. Realizing they messed up the moment the enemy soldier's power level enters the range of their senses, the Z-Fighters and Vegeta rush outside to confront the last of Frieza's lieutenants. Taking one last precaution as he flies down to meet his prey, Zarbon removes his scouter and tosses it away, making sure it was still transmitting his location before he does. When his backup arrives, should he need them, they'll know where to find him. With a smirk and a toss of his braid, Zarbon lands, goading Vegeta all the while. The Prince of All Saiyans responds with a smirk of his own, motioning for the others to back off.
None of you idiots interfere! I want to savor this.
The two begin trading blows, but while they seem evenly matched at first, it soon becomes clear that Vegeta's simply toying with Zarbon. Thinking he has the upper hand and the element of surprise, Zarbon transforms. Vegeta only laughs and proceeds to give the Lizard Man a brutal beatdown. Beaten, broken, and about to be blown to smithereens, Zarbon simply smiles, thoroughly creeping out and annoying Vegeta.
I'm glad you're taking your imminent death so well.
You may think you've won, Vegeta, now that you've bested me and made some new friends. But look above you, and you'll see that you've only delayed the inevitable.
As Vegeta looks to the sky, he's suddenly filled with rage and terror. And with a snarl, he disintegrates Zarbon with an energy blast. Confused, the Earthlings and Dende look up. 5 streaks of light can be seen entering Namek's atmosphere, not heading towards Frieza's ship, but instead coming straight for their camp. Zarbon's care to transmit his location via scouter paid off, and Frieza's top team has been rerouted to apprehend the fools that dare try and take his Dragon Balls. The Ginyu Force has arrived. With no time to prepare an escape, all that can be done is to have Bulma and Dende hide while the others prepare to do battle. Captain Ginyu and his special team of enforcers land, exiting their pods and introducing themselves with their stylish poses. What follows is initially much the same as canon, with Ginyu opting to locate the Dragon Balls and return them to Frieza, while his subordinates play rock, paper, scissors for the right to fight Vegeta. Recoome wins, and Krillin and Gohan fight Goldo, with the only difference from canon being that this time, the little alien frogman isn't fast enough to get off his second time freezing ability before Krillin is able to pummel him into unconsciousness, thanks to the abilities of his new base power level and Kaioshin. Vegeta, as both a boast and an attempt to be quote-unquote pragmatic, kills the helpless Ginyu Force member with a blast, which means it's his turn to face Recoome. Again, the battle plays out much like in the canon, as Recoome sells Vegeta's attacks for a while before finally going all out and severely wounding the Saiyan Prince. We diverge again at this point when Krillin and Gohan jump in to help Vegeta in his moment of peril. With both Krillin and Gohan's enhanced power, neither Earthling is immediately dispatched this time, and Krillin uses a 2x Kaioshin transformation to put Recoome in the dirt. Unfortunately, even though he might have been healed by Dende, Krillin hasn't really had a proper opportunity to rest since arriving on Namek, and he's more or less used up his transformation time. Jason Birder, furious that the two Earthlings would step into Recoome's fight with Vegeta in such a manner, charge in. The pair of Z-Fighters do their best, but with Krillin exhausted and Gohan outmatched, the remaining members of the Ginyu Force soon have all 3 combatants right where they want them, gasping and near death. How lucky is it then that in the moment of greatest need, a new challenger should approach? Red gi, spiky black hair, and a pouch of oh-so-helpful senzu beans tied to his belt. Why, it's Goku! And yeah, you guys know how this goes. Goku aids his friends and Vegeta, making short work of Birder in the process. Vegeta takes the opportunity to eliminate the alleged fastest being in the universe and Recoome, and Jace runs off to tell on the mean Saiyan to the captain. With the arrival of Goku on the scene, our intrepid heroes have been saved. What lies in wait on the horizon as Ginyu and Jace make their way toward the Z-Fighters and Frieza journeys to the home of Guru? Just how much will change? Find out next time on Dragon Ball AU. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe. Consider visiting my Patreon via the link on my channel, and feel free to share your own thoughts on the video in the comments below. See you guys next time!